Hello friends. In my previous videos I have discussed with you the relationship of India with the Middle Eastern countries. In our today's video I'll cover the region called as Egypt. So the first paper that I'm presenting here titled as Did India Influence Early Greek Philosophies? In this paper the author mentions the name of a certain king called as Assurbanipal, and the author mentions that this king Assurbanipal in the 7th century BC is said to have sent to India for the wool bearing tree which we know as cotton. So if we look at the time period of this king Assurbanipal, you will find that this king Assurbanipal was reigning in the period 668 BC to around 631 BC. So you can see that in this time period 668 BC to 631 BC, he was sending people to India to get cotton. So this is the first evidence that shows that India was connected to Egypt in around 600 BC. The second evidence comes from a place which is called as Alexandria in Egypt. So this place is towards the north side of Egypt, and this place is quite close to Greece as well as the Roman Empire here. So you can see this entire place, it's quite well connected. So here I am presenting a research paper which is called as the Child Krishna, Christianity and the Gujars. So if we look at this research paper, in this paper the author mentions that India had direct communication with the Roman Empire by way of Alexandria during the first 2 centuries of our era. So in 200 AD, if we take a very conservative date, then in 200 AD India was definitely connected to the Greco-Roman Empire. And the author here mentions the name of a certain philosopher called as Dio Chrysostom. So Dio Chrysostom casually mentions the existence of a small colony of Hindu traders. So you can see here that explicitly Dio Chrysostom, the philosopher, the historian, mentions Hindu traders at Alexandria. So if we look at the history of Dio Chrysostom, time period of Dio Chrysostom, then you will find that Dio Chrysostom was living in the time period 40 BC to 115 AD. So you can see here that between 40 BC to 115 AD, so this is the time period of Dio Chrysostom, and Hindus were present in Alexandria during this time period. At least he's saying so. So this is my second evidence. The third one comes from a place which is called as Memphis in Egypt. So Memphis is located towards the north of Egypt in Cairo, close to Cairo. So this is an ancient town called as Memphis. So the research paper that I am referring to here is called as the Buddhist Origin of Sumerian Heads from Memphis. In this paper, the author clearly says that we can therefore take 250 BC as being the earliest reasonable date at which of presence of Indians in Egypt can be presumed. So even if we follow this research paper, then at least in 250 BC Indians were present in Egypt. This is my third evidence here. The fourth evidence, and which is strongest evidence, comes from a place, a village called as Al Amarna. So in Al Amarna they have found some tablets which have Hindu or Aryan names, and these are dated at approximately 1500 BC. And there are many studies that have cited this. So here, for example, I have taken one paper which mentions about the Al Amarna tablets, the Aryan gods of Mitanni treatise. So this paper clearly goes on to say that in 15th century, so here you can see 14th century BC, at Al Amarna, many Sanskrit names were found in the cuneiform documents. So if we go by the papers here, you can see that 1500 BC, 600 BC and 40th BC to 115 AD are three clear time periods where when the Hindus were said to be present in Egypt. You will see here that some questions arise. The first is that why the Hindu presence in Egypt is not discussed in the region's history, particularly the history of pyramids or the pharaohs. So that is one question. So in my previous video, I have shown extensive documentation that shows that across the entire Middle Eastern region, right from Yemen till the northern sides of Syria, Iraq, and then Egypt, we find that the Hindus were present. But why this is not discussed? Is there an institutional effort to deny the ancient Middle East and the Hindu connection? And if that be so, why is that the case? Why this connection is being denied? So these are some of the thoughts that come to my mind. And finally, in our own era, what are the possibilities that the sun worshippers Yazidis are in fact closely related kiths and kins of the modern day Hindus, because Hindus also do sun worshipping. So why they are not called as close to being the Hindus? So these are some of the questions that I raise in this video. Again, thanks for watching.